Yeah, so I said I was going to make this video, this video and that video, and it's been just over 2 weeks now since I've made a video, and you'll be wondering where I've gone. And what it is my laptop started to break down. I got rid of it, and obviously all my images, we're talking about over 10,000 images, all selected images, you know, not just downloading this and downloading that for the sake of it. We're talking sites, you know, the pick of the crop from each site I'm talking about. Yes, I've got sites, I've got let's say a few thousand images on Facebook, but they are the pick of the pick of the pick of the crop, you know, like the best from each site. That's all they are. I've got a few on Google, so really I'm going to have to start again, but I'm going to get a new laptop, and it will just be after Christmas. I'm not going to go for anything spectacular this time. I don't use it for anything other than this now, so I don't, you know, I'm looking at something like £100 for a refurbished laptop there, and then I will start again. But I've had these, I think there's 27 images in this feed for you, and I made a video on rebar structures showing you. I've been making them on, like I've said, you know, anything that's a rock cut structure, an underground city, a tomb, yeah, is not, it's what I've told you. And but my main thing, what I like showing you, is rebar structures, right? And this image here is a modern mud brick city. I suppose there are mud bricks in it, and then they smear this over it, right? This is copying in really inferior ways stuff of the past. You know, you can look around and see how things are built, and they decided to place these logs inside, yeah, and this is for structural safety, right? As this thing as the water in this starts to dry up, right, it obviously shifts, moves. These stop it from falling down. Probably will be able to pull these out, right, after, you know, after so long. But I will show you this, because anyway, I'll move on, right? So because again, you've got to know the difference in what you are looking at, right? And like I've said, everything we have has been done before. This is another site, all that's another thing. I don't know where these are now because the information's gone, right? So I'm just showing you places, but they're all over the world. This is, I know this is in Africa, and again you get this effect, right, with these logs inside for structural safety, right? And this is mud and clay, you know, like sand, clay, and this could actually harden into something terribly hard over time, you know, but it's not like this type of stuff. This is something else, guys, right? There's stuff like this all over the world. Now look at the size of these holes, yeah? These weren't created by logs, or, I mean, you'd be looking at trees, yeah? Now, yeah, they were giants, but they weren't building like, you know, with mud. We're talking about high technology. I've shown you, yeah? And I'm going to show you what rebar structures, but just 10 times bigger than what we're, you know, than what we're making. And wherever you look in this, you can see bars, yeah, yeah, you know, where this was a structure, right, and it's all collapsed to, you know, fell away. There's not much of it left, but all these hills behind here, right, is buried to unknown depths, and it was all once a city, and this is all you're left with, okay? This is in China, and, you know, mainstream archaeology will tell you that, you know, ancient peoples have just piled a load of mud, right, in a heap, and then, you know, spooned away some of the mud, right, and then built houses inside. And I'm saying again that they haven't. These are completely eroded cities, completely eroded skyscrapers, right? That's what you're looking at. And everything behind here all this, right, and I've only got one image of it, but I'm telling you, it goes for it goes for miles and miles, this site, and it all looks like this. And these holes are where bars, girders and rebar was, and this is all that you're left with. And I'll prove that, right? If you can't see it now, you will see it by the end. Because this is the second video of the trio that I'm making. Yeah, in the first video I showed you rebarring, right, of the level that we're building with today. This is taking it up a step. Yeah, the third video is going to completely blow your mind. I'm talking about things that you know that you think's natural isn't natural. Everything is built. Literally, our world, our reality appears to be built, right? Is where I'm taking you eventually. This is not natural, right? Again, I've shown you this before. You get this sand. This is completely eroded skyscrapers, cities, megastructures, and this colour I've shown you before. This is lime. Yeah, this is exactly what you get if you know completely eroded concrete. It would end up like sand, and you know the lime hardens first, yeah, and erodes slower, and that's why you know it's grey. But as it erodes, it creates a hard surface, right, that people think is the floor, and it's not the floor. Under here, all this is eroded cities. Everything in this background is a city buried for hundreds of feet. Yeah, again, I don't know where it is, I've lost the information, but this is, look at that. This was once metal. Some of it may still be metal, but this is rebar, no different to what we build today. This is not natural. Mainstream archaeology will call these caves, right? Look, I don't know what they are. You know, these, you've got to look at it like on a giant scale, right? It doesn't make sense because of the size of things. You've got to scale it up. But I want you to inspect these images on my Google page. I know I keep saying that, but that's what I'm leaving them there for. And all this, again, is what I've been telling you. And obviously peoples of the past and modern peoples live in these things. I'm not 100% sure about this, right? About this particular site. I don't really want to comment on it. But again, you've got to know the difference. Is this, you know, eroded cities, or is it something else? I don't really know about that. But this pile of mess, yeah, that goes for miles and miles and miles. Check this image, please, on the Google page. I want you to go straight there after this video and check this particular image out, right? And you will see bars, yeah, T-bars, cross beams, and you know, bolts, where, you know, and plates and all sorts of things, yeah, that have turned into this material. Like I told you, yeah, metal and plastics and glass will return back to what they were, you know, originally made, you know, made from and came from, right? And that's why everything ends up looking like this. But I want you to check this image out, because all this, right, is eroded cities. This is rebar. Mainstream archaeology, well, you know, you've seen these outside and they call them graves, right? This used to be metal, people. I'm talking about high grade material here. Look, right, you see these circular bars, yeah, at the end of these, where this particular area joins, you've got a round thing, and it had a hole in the middle. You can see that, yeah, there's one there, because there's a break there. and then a beam, a little bar or whatever would have been bolted into position to keep all these in place. There's one, there's two there. Wherever you see a break, you get what I've just been talking about. Yeah, this was once metal. It's rebar, just a lot bigger than what we build with today. This could, you know, have been the wall, the roof, the floor, whatever, right? But it was metal, plastic, glass, whatever you like. And people's, you know, have built with the rubble from this stuff. I've shown you this once before, right? Independent researchers call this first world stuff, right? They think that they were carving shapes from the rock, the mountains, for vibrational purposes, right? Because the rock was softer back then. If you can make sense of that, right, you don't want to be watching my videos, because I've been there and it's garbage. Again, check these images out, because this was some type of frame, yeah, some type of frame that, look, that will have opened up at one time, and it's all folded back up on itself and turned into this material. That's what this is. I thought this were rebar actually at one point, but it's not. It's actually some type of structure, some type of frame that's been flattened and just turned into this thing, you know. But this thing here is, again, what I'm talking about. Yeah, what you're seeing here is only, like I said, the third video is going to completely blow your mind. Yeah, it's a step up from what you're seeing here. But this is, you know, what's inside this mountain. Many of these mountains, yeah, what appear to be mountains, are actually built like this all the way through. I'll share some videos in this top corner, because like I said, this is going to be the last video, right, until after Christmas. You need to, you know, wrap your head around this rebarring, because it's my main thing. It's where I'm going to, you know, go most of the time, right? It's very important. This is Petra. And these are, again, these are not graves. What appear to be, you know, mountains, yeah, outcrops of mountains are all built throughout. All these mountains are all built like this, yeah. It's no different to how we build today, because we've learnt from this. That's it there, right? And then you can place flooring over it, can't you? Look at that there. Then that goes through the wall, yeah, and it will go down again. It will go through the whole mountain, right? And it's very strong, but it's just turned into this material from whatever event took place, like Sodom and Gomorrah. This is the main thing I'm showing you in this image, yeah, because I've been showing you that anything they say is a rock-cut tomb is garbage. This is the last one that they can throw at me, yeah. I thought I'd done that with the last one I did there in India, but now they're coming out with this one. Well, this is rock-cut. Well, it's not. Again, all these mountains are built like this, yeah. If you knocked all that mountain away there, that cliffside, it would look like this inside, because this was an entire city. And this, you know, in this period or area, they're built like this. And if you don't believe, and again, look at the colour, yeah, this is eroded concrete and lime, yeah, and that's why it looks like this on the outside. And if you don't believe me that it's built and built with rebar, this has been smashed away, and look, you've got a floor there, yeah. And again, I showed you, you can't just build a floor in mid-air, right, from, you know, soft material, concrete, whatever. It has to have rebar in it, and that's what you're looking at. This is a different country, and it's built exactly the same, and you get the same colour, right? I want you to check these images. Look, it's got a cross beam there, yeah. It's got a cross beam to hold this roof up. It was, all this mountain here was a huge structure. these are only the outskirts. Yes, you know, some of it has survived intact on the outskirts, but as you start smashing your way through, you realise that it's actually a city that's buried again. Yeah, in recent times, in recent history, they've built this thing on top of this, but this was obviously a structure. Yeah, believe me, they have not just been knocking holes in here to then build this. Yeah, it's built like this all the way through. This image should clinch it for you, right? Do you think that they would carve an entire mountain away, right,